No, Daniel, I was thinking if this does come from Arabic descent, and you were saying the origin of the word giraffe comes from Arabic word. Is it zarafa or giraffe? Sorry, Louise, I didn't hear you. Zarafa. So zarafa, which means the one that walks fast and swiftly. So that's where the word giraffe comes from, or originates from. Makes sense. There's actually a camp in Botswana named Zarafa. Quite a well-known camp up there. A lot of wonderful camps around. Oh, nice to see a giraffe. Animal I haven't seen here very recently is zebra. I always think, I don't know why I associate giraffe and zebra, but if I see a giraffe I think of zebra, or I see a zebra I think of giraffe. I think because they're two very unusual animals. This tall animal in the bush, and then the other one with these stripes, these beautiful black and white stripes. Some of the Djuma crew, Djuma staff. Right now, it sounds like our friends in the Mara might have sorted out all the issues. That's exciting. Let's go across to Brent, who's got some zebra and elephant to show you.
I'm not quite sure where the zebras are, but elephant we have. A lovely big, well, medium-aged bull. Oh, there's a horrible noise of a francolin crowing right next to us. But good morning and welcome to a very wet but very clean and sparkly Masai Mara. My name is Brent Smith. I have Fergus Clark on camera today, and we are sitting with this lovely elephant bull. But let me just move forward a little bit. There's the culprit of the quack, 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 quack we just heard. And there we go. You see him there, Ferg, out in the open. Now, we've had some massive storms out here over the last couple of days, and we do apologize for our late start. Alex had to dash very far to fix the problem, and as I say, I'm not 100% sure exactly what it entailed, but that's why we have Alex. There we go. Oh, you're a noisy creature. Now turn around so everyone can see your throat. Come on, turn around. There we go. Oh, he's running off. And just to the left of him, oh, he's going to run straight back towards what I wanted to see. Oh, he just run past it. Oh, he saw a girl. He saw a girl. That's what got him so excited and moving off at speed. He saw a female. Oh, he's off again. Has he seen another female? But in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, there's a funny little white thing there. There we go. That's it there. There we go. And it is a wattled lapwing. I think she might have a nest in this area. Good morning, lapwing. Watch out. You never know. Your nest might be stood upon by a great hulking grey beast who's around. Now, lapwings will attack elephants. So they will attack elephants if they get too close to their nests. Can you believe that little bird? And can chase off an ellie. And he's just enjoying a lovely graze this morning. As I say, it is very clear and clean. Well, there's lots of clouds still about, and Fergus and I encountered some rain a little bit earlier this morning, but fortunately it has dissipated. And hang on, what have we got over there? Ooh, we've got some very nice gardenia flowers. There we go, keep coming, Ferg. There we go. Look at that white flowers of the gardenias. Hopefully we can get a bit closer to gardenia a little later. They are absolutely exquisite smelling, the flowers of the gardenia. Now, we did find the Angama pride in this area a little earlier. Unfortunately, they are very, very flat, and all you can see is the tuft of an ear and the occasional flick of a tail. So we decided we're going to head down towards the Mara River and see what else we can find. Now, remember, if you do have any questions for us, hashtag Safari Live. You're looking for the lions. They're behind here. So we're going to keep literally wallowing down the road. I've managed to get mud all over my clean jacket because we have been slip sliding after all the rain last night. So let's go see how muddy Madam McCurdy is.
If you're lucky, I'll maybe show you what the back of my pants look like, because I sat up on the door, which was caked in mud. Not a good idea. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's Slip and Sliding Safari Live. My name is Taylor, and on camera with me is Cutthroat Craig. And, well, we're going to try and stay on the road today, and hopefully we're going to find some animals in between. But if you have just joined us, remember to hashtag Safari Live on Twitter, or you can chat to us via the YouTube chat. Now, I have been singing all morning, the whole morning. Poor Craig's ears are bleeding. He's going to have to go to the doctor later. It's very sad. So now I've got a variety of songs stuck in my head. So every now and then you may hear me humming them in between trying to stay on the roads, as you can see, which is going to be quite a fun experience. We did drive up along the escarpment. Interesting, I see some vehicles, but I think there was a breakfast stop. We didn't find the sausage street pride, but I was also distracted. I was singing very loudly. I'm just going to be honest with all of you. It was really great. Did some rapping as well. But now we have taken to the tree line, basically between the Mara River and the escarpment, and we're just going to hug it all the way around. Craig says he's never been past sort of Little Governors, and there's a whole other area, and it's quite nice, a different stretch of the Mara River, so we might go down that way and have a look. There's quite a few animals about. I can see a big herd of elephants, but very far away from us. They're down in the distance. You won't be able to see them right now, but they're sort of down there against the trees. So hopefully once we get around to them, we'll stop and we'll spend some time with the elephants. And I haven't actually spent much time with the elephants at all, so I think that could be quite nice. Who knows, maybe we'll have a young calf or two. Craig is also helping me spot other things other than just elephants and buffalo. But I actually have to focus. I keep wanting to turn around and change my position, but I know that if I get into a slide, I need to have both hands on the wheel, eyes on the road, so that we don't fall into a mud wallow. Yeah, it's interesting, but I've covered Craig in mud. The car is filthy, absolutely filthy. So are we. That's okay. That's what happens when you go out on a safari. You can't stay clean. You're either covered in dust or you're covered in mud. You can't have both. Yeah, you can't actually have both. So I'm just showing you how we go around like this. Let's try that again. How's that slide? Okay, so that was an interesting slide. I did an entire 360. So we're going to keep trying to stick to the route and not slip and slide too much. Byron, however, is driving around. Let's go across to him.
Oh dear, good luck, Taylor. Don't slide off the road. It's quite fun driving through muddy areas, but it can be quite tricky. It's not always easy. We're still driving around having a look on Djuma at the moment. The wind has picked up a bit. It's actually quite chilly now. Temperature's definitely dropped compared to this morning. I know some of you were commenting on my glasses. It does make a bit of a difference. Everything seems so clear all of a sudden. I'm joking, my eyes aren't that bad, but it does help a bit. And you were wondering what this was on the side of the glasses, if it was tape holding them together. It's not, it's part of the frame actually, it's part of the frame, so it's not the tape unfortunately. Maybe I can get tape and start taping the glasses together. Or here in the front. Yeah, turning into the latest fashion craze. Apparently I have had guests say to me that that Jude Law looks a little bit like me, so maybe with the glasses too, I don't know. Notice I said that Jude Law looks like me and I don't look like Jude Law. Elephant, there we go. Hold on. Is that okay, Vim? Let's just have a look there, just on the other side of the drainage line. I can just see, is it just two elephant there? They're quite far from us. Bart, you were asking, how warm does it get in our summer? Looks like just a mother and a calf over there. I'm not sure if the others are around. But well, it can get very warm around here. Temperatures reaching up to about 40 plus degrees Celsius. That's around 110, 115 Fahrenheit. So very, very warm in the summer. And that's normally around, I would say, January, February, it can get to those temperatures. That's interesting. I can't see any other elephant around here for now. But like I said, it's quite thick over there to the left of where those ellies are standing. So there might be the rest of the herd around there. I can see some, just the odd movement of an ear off to the right. So there are some others, but they're down in the drainage line. There are a few down there and possibly some more to the left. And you see, again, I think because of this wind, that's possibly why these elephants are kind of in the thicket at the moment in the drainage line. Also with that herd that we saw this morning, also moving through the thicker parts of the bush. Trying to stay out of the wind a little bit. Amazing how that rain can affect areas, just like all that rain that they've had in the Mara. And I'm thinking of Taylor sliding around at the moment while driving. It is fun until you get stuck, then it's not so fun anymore. So hopefully Taylor and Brent don't get stuck today. Well, we've had a great morning so far. I mean, we've had hyena, we've had elephant and giraffe. I can hear branches breaking in the drainage line from these other elephants. Maybe we get to see some more of them come out. I really hope this wind dies down a bit. It's not very pleasant having these windy conditions, and it does definitely affect the movement of animals. I do find in the past I've noticed that windy, cold conditions, animals don't move around as much in conditions like this. But we have seen when it's windy and rainy at night, predators do like to hunt, animals like leopards and lions. And that happened not too long ago. Out here, I think when it rained at Tingana, that big male leopard, he made 2 impala kills. 2 weeks ago, we had more rain in this area and a bit of a storm, and we had one female leopard that we found with 3 kills. She made 3 kills in one night, which is amazing, all because of the right conditions. Anyway, I'm going to see if maybe we get another view of this elephant. We'll try reposition. Let's head across to Taylor, find out if she's still sliding around or if she's found anything in the river.
We've been doing a bit of both. We slipped and slid, and then we found some hippos. Luckily, we didn't slip and slide and land up in this lugger with these hippopotamus. Now, we've had an exceptional amount of rain. It's really fantastic. You can hear the birds are chirping. All the animals are very happy by this, and especially the hippos, because now there's obviously a lot of competition in the Mara River. So behind those trees that you can see, that's where the Mara River meanders, and then you've got these massive drainage lines all throughout the bottom of the valley. And we saw it the other day, how we had a beautiful hippo bull that had come out, and it seems like an entire family of hippos is living here. So it's hard to tell when they're in the water, but I'm sure there'll be a combination of males and females. And I think life must be quite calm and cool and relaxed in these luggers, again, because the big hippo bulls, they want the prime territory, they want the Mara River, whereas the younger bulls and the females, sometimes it's quite nice to take a break from the busy life within the river and come and just relax here. And that's exactly what they're doing. They look like they are loving life. And as soon as this water starts to dry out, they can head straight back towards the river again. That's quite nice, isn't it? The chorus is starting quite late this morning. I don't know, everybody must have been out quite late last night. They've only just really started to chirp, and I think hopefully we'll go to a really nice spot along the river, and then we'll sit and listen to the chorus. But for now, you might just be able to hear the fiskals. I can hear bee-eaters and things also chatting about, and a couple of other birds and parrots too. I can hear them talking. But isn't that cool? Cool, let's carry on. Let's see what else is out and about. Bye, hippos. Enjoy your mud wallow. Now we're going to look at this. It is so wet out here. I have a feeling I'm driving quite dangerously. Just listening. So apparently I need to give my date as to when I think the woodland kingfisher is going to return to Djuma. It's actually really hard, seeing as though I want to go down this way. We want to get close to the river. It's hard because I'm not there, so I can't see what's happening. I don't even know what birds have returned already. I'm sure the Wahlbergs eagles are back, because I know there were a few sightings in other bits, in other parts of the Lowveld just before I left for Kenya. I'm going to say, when was it last year? What are we in now? We're in October. I'm going to say, I must think, the 30th of October. Or was it okay, wait, no, I'm changing my mind. Was it the 22nd of November last year? Okay, let's go with the 19th of November. Let's do that. 19th of November will be my day that they return. I think that'll be my guess. What is it? No, but I made a mistake, Faith. Oh no, Craig, okay, I don't know if we're gonna make it through here. Shall we go? We might be joining the Marshmallow Club in a minute, but we're gonna give it a bash anyways. Please don't roll over, car. Please don't roll over. Okay, through. Now we gotta pick up speed because. Go! Come on, car. We've got one more of these to do. Get some higher revs. Woo! That was close. I thought we were going to get stuck. No, Adele, you're wondering if I've sort of added any other birds to my Mara list. maybe one or two. I think I'm only like 45 birds now. I haven't done hardly any birding since I've been here. I promise I will start the week. It's just been so busy, and we've been trying to focus on oh my goodness, Craig, hold on. Please don't get stuck. I don't want to join the Marshmallow Club. I think that's what everybody needs to say from now on when they think that they're gonna get stuck. Please don't get stuck. I don't want to join the Marshmallow Club. That's Kirst and Faith. Do you think we can implement this? We've got one more crossing to go through. You ready? This one looks scary, Craig. Okay, well, I just hope we don't slide down there. The hippo's way. There's fun here going through the rocks. It's this. Come on, Papa. Okay. We're safe. Adela, I'm trying to think of a bird that I've seen now that I added to my list. Should we bring the book out? I have to find it. Let's have a look. Where is my bird list? No, I've hardly added any birds. And the last one I put here was a black and white casqued hornbill. I suppose I can add bee eaters, European bee eaters. I haven't gone through all the bee eaters yet, so I still need to do that, but there's a couple of them. I've been very lazy, but I'll get there eventually, I promise. Right, what we're going to do now is we're going to carry on driving along. I can see lots and lots of birds, so what we might do in a minute, we're going to get up closer, beautiful marshland, we'll do a bit of birding, but for now, Byron is getting a better view of the elephants.
I was trying to, but they moved across a little bit further away from us on the other side of the drainage line, so we've left those elephant and continue to see what else we can find. I'm sure Taylor's bird list is picking up quite a bit there in the Mara. I was actually updating some dwarf mongoose. Let's see, will they sit for us? Hold on. Try and get a view here quickly. Try that view, maybe. There's just a few dwarf mongoose that ran across the road onto the termite mound. There we go, there's a little head, little face sticking out. One of my favorite little creatures out here, the dwarf mongoose. Always very inquisitive. Can hear them chattering a little bit. Every now and then we get a little squeak from a dwarf mongoose. They probably don't enjoy the wind very much either. But I think now with the sun coming out, maybe that's why they're getting a bit active, trying to warm up in the sun. Louise is saying they've come to see me in glasses. There we go. See, if you sit quietly, they start getting more and more relaxed. Right, coming right out of the hole now. It's very peaceful, despite the very windy conditions. It's actually quite peaceful this morning. I think especially in sightings like this, where you just get to watch and enjoy these little creatures. Our beard, I think you make quite a valid comment. You say that you doubt anybody at Disney could draw these little dwarf mongoose any cuter than they already are. They are very cute, those little faces. Nikki, you say it looks like they've had way too much coffee, or they always look like they've had way too much coffee. Little jittery, constantly on high alert, moving around, looking, scanning, making sure there's no danger, keeping a close eye on us. I've seen them catching insects before, little grasshoppers. I've seen the dwarf mongoose running and trying to catch grasshoppers off blades of grass. Now, you know, I always joke around about what the animals feed on. And I always say they eat, it doesn't matter what they eat, I always end off by saying, and fruit, nuts and mice. We used to tease James about that. He used to get quite upset with us writing it in our exam answers. What is the main diet of a lion? Well, they are carnivores, so they feed on meat as well as fruit, nuts and mice. He used to get so upset. And it wasn't just one of us, we all did it. We all did it. We all wrote fruit, nuts and mice for every answer. Stephen, you say dwarf mongoose always seem to live life at the same speed of hummingbirds. No, I wonder. Very quick indeed, yes, but I think hummingbirds are just at another level completely. So quick, always buzzing around, hovering, looking for food. So having a look, hyena tracks in the sand, a lot of hyena activity around, but also these hyenas cover huge distances when they are looking for food. This little pan is filled up nicely, this one off to my right. This is wonderful, a lovely little mud wallow for animals like rhino, elephant, buffalo. We haven't seen many buffalo around at all, but elephant definitely enjoy it, and they'll drink from here. Now, speaking about a little wetland area or muddy area, Taylor has gone into the marsh, and let's go see what bird she's got there.
Guess what we have got? Well, after Craig and I almost got stuck about 6 times, I'm so glad that you linked away from us, because it was very embarrassing watching you try and climb up and through the last and final crossing. But it is absolutely beautiful here. And I'm not going to say too much more, because what I want you to do is, I promised you a chorus of birds, but I haven't got you a chorus of birds. I've got you a chorus, well, I suppose a combination of frogs and birds. Have a little listen. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? Now, there are so many different kinds of birds here, and this area has completely come alive with all the rain that we have had. So you can see, you can hear the hammerkorp, you hear that? Those are the hammerkorps chatting away. Oh, look at that! Hammerkops. I think we might see a bit of mating display that's going on at the moment. That's the female, the one that's obviously standing on the bottom. It's the male that's standing on top of her. There's so many of them in such close proximity because these are exceptionally territorial birds. We know that they make really large nests, which they use as a beacon. And that's really cool. And they're very vocal. That's amazing. That was pretty cool to see. I hope you got some great screenshots. But there's lots of other birds here too. There's African sacred ibises, the black and white ones. And they've got very long beaks. They look very excited, very busy, constantly moving through the grass, trying to catch anything from insects to frogs. Just like what most of the birds feeding in this area, well, that's what they will be eating, is any creatures that live in these sort of marshlands. Now, you could never drive over an area like this. If I were to start driving towards where those birds are, we would sink and we'd probably disappear. It would be very, very bog-like. Even elephants marching through here would have a tough time, and you might find that they would decide to go the other way around. So other than the birds, we've got the black-headed herons there too. We also had some saddle-billed storks, which you saw earlier. You can always hear the African wattled lapwings, and then of course there's woolly-necked storks in and amongst and between the rest of them. This is a really beautiful sight. But now there is a mammal out here that is well adapted to the sort of wetland area, and they are on the right-hand side. You might be able to see them. There's quite a big herd of them, and they are waterbuck. Now, we often talk about waterbuck and one of their defenses being the fact that they're really good swimmers, and also that they have discrete that oily substance from a sebaceous gland that helps waterproof their coats. So for them to be moving around and feeding in this area, this is perfect for them, because if a lion were to come through here, these waterbuck would jump into a canter or even a gallop and start racing away, and they'd quite easily, other than it being a little bit boggy with the mud, they'd be able to move through this quite quickly, whereas everything else would struggle. James, you say what a beautiful area. It is so special. Now, I've been wanting to try and show you what these marshlands look like with all the bird life for quite some time, but we just haven't really had the right amount of rain. It's either too much that we can't get here, or too little that it's not sort of as beautiful as what it is now. There are hundreds of birds here, and these are great areas to come and find. I'm trying to find gallinules, but we might need a little bit more, sort of more patches of water, because gallinules will be nice to see. They're normally bright purple in colour. Actually, not sure. I think you'll get the purple gallinule up here. That's the one I'm used to seeing. I've seen it quite a few times. This is absolutely spectacular. This is really lovely. Now, Bart, you're wondering if this type of terrain would benefit the predator or the prey more. Again, I think it's very specialized here. You might find some buffalo coming through because they'd like to lay in the mud. I think the waterbuck, in my opinion, are the most suited to this sort of area. Obviously, we don't have any animals like sitatungas, which are also well equipped to sort of water-logged areas. So anything that likes to live around in the marsh would do very well. I don't think lions would like this very much. You're going to get muddy paws. They're going to get just wet. It's not very pleasant. I don't think they can move as quickly as like something like the waterbuck. It would be really great demonstration, don't you think, if we did have a group of lions come charging in, and I'd love to be able to show you how they can quite easily just bound through this and put a decent gap between them and the lions. But this is so lovely. Let's go around. Let's see what else we can see just along this road. We're ice skating at the moment. My tires are so caked in mud, they're not really working anymore. So what I need to do is I actually need to drive through a puddle and sort of dip them clean, or even go on a little bit of grass and just try and get rid of some of it. Because if I started to sink now, I'd be in a lot of trouble. There's a little bit of water. So I'll keep scanning along here to see if I can spot any new birds, but for the moment being, we've seen all these. Brent is driving about. I wonder which cat he's going to find first.
Well, I'm hoping to find the Olololo cats first, but we're doing a lot of this. Hang on. Sideways driving at the moment. It is quite a bit of fun. But so I'm right along the edge of this little lugger where the Olololo Pride had their cubs. So especially after all the rain we've been having, I want to go have a quick squiz around the area, make sure they're all okay. So the den is up ahead. Hello, Paul. Paul is wondering, why are there not very many trees in the Mara? Well, Paul, it depends on what part of the Mara you're in. So, firstly, we are a very high altitude, and high altitude is generally good for grasslands. But mostly the Mara has been shaped by people, wildebeest, and elephants. So, a lot of the trees have been cut down in the last 15,000 years or so, and then the elephants coming through would have also made a big difference. Now, you can actually, oh no, a bit slippery there. So that's one of the reasons. Also, you got quite high winds. There we go. You can see that the little streams, a lot of the little streams are now flowing. We actually had to cross it. It was quite deep where we crossed it a bit earlier. It doesn't look like it would have come up high enough to threaten the den site, but it's still worth going to have a squiz. But so, Paul, the ecosystem here, the soil and stuff is more ideal for grasslands than it is for trees. See, this is what I talk about, sideways driving. And I heard Byron saying, oh, there's a buffalo. He hopes none of us, this could be quite funny if the buffalo is going to come down this hill, because then you'll see how we've been moving quite a bit. Yeah, how's that for you there, Ferg? Donald's wondering what the soil is composed here. Is it like decomposed plant life, like the muck in the Florida Irrigates? No, most of the soil here is volcanic ash. Oh, here we go. Slip slyly, buffalo. Are you going to do it? Or you don't want to be embarrassed as you slide down on your bottom? Oh, he's going for it. Let's see, is he going to have a little slip? Elephant's always the best to watch in this, coming down steep. Oh, he's doing it quite well. Oh, has he changed the lane? Is that a mistake? Or maybe going up's going to be a bit more difficult for him. Oh, there was a bit of a slip. Front foot slip, but he's handled this quite well. Obviously a seasoned, rainy season pro buffalo bull, this one. He's got his diff lock on, as Fergus says. Engaged low range and diff lock. Now, coming up is sometimes quite funny. And see, he's like, I'm going to stay down here, have a drink, maybe. I just want to move. He might want to come up this little path that's directly opposite us, so I don't want to block him. Well, he's definitely handling it better than our vehicles. Let's see what he does. You got him there, Ferg? Okay, he's definitely got his four-wheel drive sorted. He's going to go up one of those little paths. See if his head pops up. Let me just go backwards a bit. He, of course, might stay in the lugger. Oh, no, there he comes. Well, this guy is definitely a wet season professional, diff lock engaged through the lugger with no problem, but it sounds like Taylor's having a buffalo whose diff lock is slipping.
Was slipping. He's now moved out of his mud wallow. It was actually quite funny. He almost did a somersault and went tail over head as he slid so deep into a mud wallow. Apparently it was like a mirrored image. It was almost exactly the same as what you were looking at with Bring. Now he's on his own. He doesn't seem to be particularly old. He looks like a sort of middle-aged buffalo. Quite dangerous here, being all on your own. Now, Anna Marie, you're wondering if there's quicksand in the Mara. I have not come across any. I'm actually not sure. Maybe we can ask Brent if there's any quicksand in here. I haven't heard any tales. I'm sure a lot of animals get bogged in the muddy areas. We've had some very sad encounters with animals getting stuck in the mud, and particularly in Djuma. Do you remember when those 2 buffalo bulls got stuck in the dam at Arathusa? That was very, very sad. And that's what happens, though, especially during droughts, as watering holes start to dry up, animals having to venture further and further into them to get the pools of water that are left, and then they get stuck. And you may have remembered I did a demonstration with a rock at the at Vuatela Dam, but at the little pan up top where the nest cam is. And Craig, you were with me when I threw the rock, weren't you? Yes, you were. I'm pretty sure you were. I took a big rock and I said, watch what happens when I throw it into the center, because it looked quite sort of hard and the surface looked flat and looked okay, and that rock sunk and disappeared, and we've never seen that rock again. Very sad. No, I'm just joking. But so that can happen here, most certainly, and the same thing can happen if that buffalo were to go into that marshy area. Although it could be okay. There's quite a bit of grass, so there's definitely some traction. But you wouldn't want to go in there. It's actually going the long way around, as you can see. It was at one point it was walking straight towards the marsh, and then it's decided to sort of head a little bit further to the right and just graze on the outside of it. There are also some cattle egrets, but I can't see any cattle egrets now. At one point, not cattle egrets, greater egrets. Sorry. Oh, there's a greater egret. In between the waterbuck, you can actually just see it. It's so white, standing between them. The waterbuck to the left, can you see them? Oh, there they are. So there's the greater egret, that big white bird that you can see. I've seen all 3 species that we get in South Africa. So greater. No, I haven't seen all of them, because I think you get there's quite a few egret species. Sorry, I've seen 3. I've seen the greater, I've seen the little, and I've seen the cattle egret. And this is the largest one of them all. And they do exactly what the herons will do. They do exactly what the starlings, and they're following their animals around, hoping that some insects will be chased out. And maybe one day we'll go to Botswana, maybe one day we'll go to Zambia, and then you'll see cattle egrets riding the elephants. That is my absolute favorite thing in the whole wide world, is to watch elephants move through the sort of wetlands in knee-high water and feed on all of the reeds and papyrus and all sorts of other lovely things that grow in there, and then to watch the egrets hitch a ride. But we're carrying on, we're still moving along here. I've seen a few hyenas as well, but they're very far away, so we'll try and see where they're going. Lots of warthogs about, lots of baboons. This area is going to be very, very productive, especially for the bird life and anything that's going to eat insects and amphibians. Might even see some mongoose and things running around here. They like to feed on frogs. We may even see then, lions coming around, because the grass is so green and lush around here. Everybody's going to want to chomp on it, and where the mammals go, or the prey species go, the predators will go too. There's some baboons up ahead, all just grazing. Oh, those wildebeest or buffalo? I can't quite see. It might be wildebeest, they could also be buffalo, just resting about in the grass. We'll just go up a little bit further ahead. I copy Faith. I can hear you. I can hear you. Oh no. We are going to carry on here then. Carry on. We are going to. I'm just also keeping an eye out. Sorry, I'm not paying attention to you, because every now and then the odd little frog head pops out. Need to see some of that. Oh, and remember the other night we saw a frog? I think I identified it. I've just forgotten which one it is. Let me check my mobile device. It's a ridge frog. I saved a picture of it. Oh my goodness, I must try and pronounce this name. I don't even know how to say it. Let's say the word. No, I'm not going to say it. It's one of the ridge frogs. I can't read this morning. I don't know what's wrong with me. Craig, I think we're heading to our spot, eh? So remember how I've told told you a number of different times, there's this one beautiful section that heads to the back of the river. I think we can try and do that today. It just depends on how wet the roads are, because there's some really steep, slippery sections that we could get ourselves into trouble. But it basically goes back there, and it's also where this female leopard with her 2 cubs supposedly hangs around. I have yet to see her though, or any signs of her, but maybe we'll give it a bash. Maybe she'll be out grooming her young cubs. That's what we are going to wish for. So Byron has been hopping in and out of his car this morning. He's probably looking at some tracks. Shall we challenge him to a bird challenge? Let's go and see what he says.
No, Taylor, we won't turn this into a bird challenge. I did my bird challenge last time I was here, and James told me I must not do another bird challenge for a while. I'm going to try and find cuckoos. I'll accept that bird challenge, trying to see if I can find some cuckoos for everyone, because I know a lot of you have been asking to try and see the cuckoos, those that are here already. One in particular, a Class's cuckoo, beautiful green cuckoo. I saw one the other day actually. I'm gonna try, and I heard one yesterday morning at camp, so we'll see if we can find one of those. And then of course the African cuckoo. But we haven't had sign of too much else this morning, and again I'm sure this weather has got something to do with it. Cold, windy conditions. Rick, you were asking if the recent rains that we've had are possibly going to bring out the burrowing creatures like snakes and scorpions and that. I definitely think so, Rick. I think with a lot of the rain that we've had now, we're probably going to get, and already we have got, a lot more insect activity, so that will bring scorpions out. Scorpions will become a lot more active now. Also the temperatures warming up, that will bring out reptile activity, so snakes will probably be around more. We've seen a few snakes already now and then, not many, but we have seen a couple around. I do always enjoy seeing snakes if we can find them on Safari Live. I just find snakes to be fascinating, so nice to see them. No, James, you were saying you hope I find that Class's cuckoo, and I remember you mentioning that you haven't seen one yet. It's like a nemesis bird for you. It's funny, sometimes we all get that at times. There's certain birds that you never find, that you are looking for specifically. Other people see them all the time, and it just eludes you all the time. But so we'll try, James, we'll try to find a Class's cuckoo. Just needed to call. It's easier to find when they call. Let's see if I can do the Class's cuckoo call. I think it's something like that. Shall we play the call? Let's see if I'm close. Let's see if we can find the call quickly. And I'll show you a picture of them too. They're beautiful. Let's play the call quickly. That was pretty close, eh? That's the sound of the classes cuckoo. Let me show you a picture of one. That's that beautiful green and white bird. So we'll try have a look for them. They are here. As I said, I heard one around camp the other day, or yesterday morning. So we'll have to try and find it for some of our viewers. I was going through my bird list, my Southern African bird list the other day, trying to update it a bit. I think I'm on about 415 species, 415. It's not that impressive compared to some of the other guides, and I know some of my friends are well into the 600s. Obviously it starts getting a bit harder the higher your numbers go. Alright, but so we'll see. It's always nice to find more birds and new birds. I'm going to start birding throughout other parts of Southern Africa and hopefully get the numbers up a little bit. Now we'll carry on searching this area. So while we look for some more animals, let's go. Brent has managed to find a lion and she's drinking. Let's go and have a look.
Look at the fat lion. So I just chatted to my friends who said the Olololo Pride have just made a kill and they've dragged it into the thickets on the other side of the river. Now remember, this is 100% live coming to you from the Masai Mara in Kenya, and this has obviously been a good night for the lions. So she might be heading back towards where the kill is. I don't think we can see it from this side. Unfortunately, it is in the thickets. So that's where the little cubs are. So they survived the storms over the last few days. And with that tummy, she might just find a good spot to have a rest under the tree. So sometimes these big storms work in the predator's favor. It does make it a little bit easier for them to be able to catch things. Oh, she's going to give her claws a clean. Oh, she's so fat and lazy. Oh, look at that belly. Even when she's stretching up against the tree, it's almost touching the ground. There we go. You can see the claws coming out of their sheaths, trying to get probably some fresh zebra meat out from underneath. Yeah, I'm just going to move a little bit up ahead. Maybe she will show us where the kill is. As I say, from what I've heard, we're not going to be able to see much of the kill. Oh, there's some big holes around here we want to avoid at all costs. Now, I heard Byron saying he hopes we don't get stuck. I don't believe him at all. Knowing Byron, I'm sure he can't wait for one of us to get stuck so he can mock us incessantly. Oh, hold on, we're just going to go through the mud quickly. So she's walking parallel to us at the moment. So I'm going to try stop in a second. Ferg. Oh, she's decided it's nap time in the shade. Hold on, I can't hear you, Ferg. Yeah, I'm going to turn around so we can see her nicely. Slip sliding. So there's unfortunately no road on the very close on the opposite side of this lugger, but in the Kratom thickets is where the zebra kill is, so we can't actually see it. I'm trying to see if I can hear any fighting from them. But she has found a very shady spot right on top of the bank. And you can see how even in the green, a lion's camouflage helps her to disappear. So I'm just trying to listen, if I can hear the growls of the rest of the pride, but looking at how fat she is and the fact that apparently they only killed about 40 minutes ago an adult zebra, if she's this fat already, I think the rest of the pride are probably in a very similar state. Now, she doesn't look to be the mother of the young cubs, and didn't look like she was lactating, so mom's probably on the kill with the cubs. Okay, well, I don't think she's going to move too much. We're going to see what other wonders await in the Masai Mara, and Taylor is in search of wonders of her own.
Right, well, we've been doing a bit of birding, I think, so we're going to start with the common ones, and there's 2 turtle doves just having a drink of water in their little mud wallow. How pretty is that? I thought that was very pretty, and they're going right in. Maybe they're not just going to have a drink, it appears as though they're going to have a bath too. I love watching birds bathe in the water. It is always entertaining. Well, you guys are not, you're just really soaking it up, aren't you? You're not like the starlings that like to flap your wings about and make sure that your entire body gets clean. You're just going for a little dip in a jacuzzi. Perhaps it's their honeymoon. Come on. Now, it's important that birds keep nice and clean, and it's obviously a little bit difficult for birds that don't have an oily secretion, say like a water bird of sorts, because that means that they have to dry their feathers afterwards. Look at that big stretch, probably preening just underneath and in those hard-to-reach spots with a bit of water. I still want to see anting happen, though, when birds allow ants to crawl over their bodies, and that's really cool to see. I've only seen it, how many times have I seen it? Well, once or twice? A couple of times. Very cool, though. Look at that. Oh, I've got my wings open. That is so cool. You can hear a turtle dove calling in the distance as well. There we go, that one is done. That one said, I've had enough water for one day, thank you very much. I'm now going to fluff my feathers out and let the sun cool me. It's always nice to watch these different types of behaviors. Let's see, I'm going to do a quick scan. Who else have we got around here? We've got some crowned lapwings, that's for sure. On the right-hand side, they're just scurrying about at the moment. Who else is bouncing in the trees? And here the lilac-breasted roller making a noise too, that quack. But there we go, a bird that we are used to seeing that loves to roam around on the plains of quarantine. You can also see all the dragonflies out. Oh, guess what happened yesterday? I watched alates being released. Now, I couldn't find the mound where they were coming from, so I didn't get to see if they were the kings and queens of the ants or if they were from the termites. But there were so many of them flying about. The birds were all doing the most spectacular acrobats trying to catch them. And I'm sure that all the birds will be quite full today. But we must keep an eye out again this afternoon and see if anyone else is going to be released. There's so many ants around as well, so I wonder if it actually wasn't even termites. Maybe they were ant alates, AAs. Oh, bit of chatter between those two. It doesn't seem to be an aggressive behavior either. And lots of them around here. Maybe they just telling everybody be careful, but we know that they're quite noisy birds and they often chase intruders away, not just of their own species but of other bird species too. That's what I miss watching. I miss watching the blacksmith lapwings chase away 3-banded plovers. That was one of my favorite things to watch. That must be a pair over there. He's sticking quite close together, not leaving one another's side. Again, no aggressive behavior. Bobbing through, a little butterfly fluttering about. There's some more. Now, Nikki, you're wondering if these are the kinds of birds that can soak water into their feathers so that they can take it back to their nest. No, not. So these birds actually don't do that at all. I think you're thinking of the sand grouse. They do that particularly well. I haven't ever seen... Oh, hello. Hang on. We might see mating here. There we go. Mating crowned lapwings, everybody. Ta-da! I feel like they curtsied after that. That was so cool. I don't think I've ever seen crowned lapwings mating before. So that was quite interesting. So they were running after one another and doing a very soft sort of noise, like I said to you. It wasn't an aggressive sound. So that's it, obviously trying to court one another. Very cool. From hammerkops to crowned lapwings. That's very nice. So the little chicks of the crowned lapwings, very much like the blacksmith lapwings, will just run around with the adults once they've hatched and once they've stable on their feet. So if they want to drink water, they'll go down to the edge of the dam and drink water down there. Whereas with the sandgrass, and they often will soak feathers. I can't wait to see that, but I think I need to go to Namibia to actually watch it. I'm going to move around a bit further because we've got some baboons, and I know we love to watch baboons. Let's get a bird or spot. Now, Fuzzman Sparkles, wondering if I've seen any barbets in the Mara. Yes, I have. But now, I saw some when I was down at Olasheki, which is a camp that we often stay at near Talik. And I don't know if they were the Daarnets or I forgot how to say the other word now. I have to read it. I don't know what's wrong with me today. My brain is not here, but there's a subspecies of them. Oh, hang on, we've got lots of animals. We've got baboons and warthogs. And there was a bit of a dispute as to whether they were the subspecies, the ones that I put on camera, or whether they were the Daarnets. Now, I went back with James and I listened to both of their calls. And I thought that they sounded more like the Daarnets. The double-toothed barbets, I haven't seen them yet, but apparently they can be spotted every now and then. I'm still keeping my eyes open, of course, for all the different birds. It's really difficult because when you do birding, you really need to sit and watch for hours and hours with your binoculars and taking notes and that type of thing. And I just haven't had a chance. I don't think really any of us have had a chance to do so. It's been go, 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 go here, long hours. And spending quality time with the big predators, of course. But we'll start relaxing as soon as the migration starts to dip. Then we'll start focusing on the other things. But how nice is that? Warthogs and olive baboons all together. Well, this is just a third of the group. They're all spread out. I'm talking about the baboons. It's a massive troop around here. And also almost in like little sub-family groups. And it's funny to see when you watch baboons. Again, when we watch elephants, we often refer to them with the things that they do and how similar they are to people. And you can definitely see that there are cliques in and amongst a troop. If you watch, you'll see some get on with others better. Some of them will stick together. One male will sort of have his favorites. Remember, it's an oligarchy, what we call the group of males. So it's not just one dominant male. There's a super group. So there'll be the biggest and strongest males will all mate with the females or also protect their entire troop and chase off, whether it's predators or potential intruders. Which is quite nice to actually see, because there's not many animals that do that. Look at that little one. Very, very sweet. And those aren't the alates. Again, those are the dragonflies that are all flying around. The occasional butterfly, and I can hear a fly buzzing here too. There's lots of bees in the Mara, which is really nice to see. We actually just had to remove a hive from behind my tent and relocate it. Now, David, you're wondering if a baboon would eat a piglet. Most certainly, I wouldn't put it past a big male baboon to snatch up a warthog piglet. Remember, the baboons do supplement their diet with meat, and particularly in the lambing season. So when you see the impalas having little ones, or even with the gazelles, Thompson's gazelles, all the different antelope species, if a baboon can catch one, they will. They catch a lot of dacre in the Sabi sand. It's a bee. Go away, don't sting me. Sorry, I'm just trying to be gone. Sorry if you see the camera shuffling. It's going to come back and it's going to get me. I know. No, I've forgotten what I was talking about. No, go away. Oh, I just swatted it towards Craig. We're going to have to move because this bee is going to sting me. There's a bee that does not like me and it keeps trying to get me, everybody. I don't want to be stung. I was bitten by an assassin bug 3 times. I don't want to add a bee sting to my Mara list either. I'm okay with that. Oh, black and white casque hornbills. Look how cool those are. They are such amazing birds. What a great view. Nice camera work, Craig. Oh, wow. I was wondering what on earth was flying in the distance, and they came right close to the vehicle. They are so cool, these birds. Look how massive they are. Now, I've seen them a couple of times now before, but they, it's always such a quick view of them. But here they stand. I know we're staring straight into the sun, so it's not the greatest, but that is still really, really awesome to see. Wow. Come on, are you going to do your... Okay, we're going to have to go. This bee won't leave us alone. I'm so sorry, Casks, Hornbills. I would have loved to have stayed with you for a bit longer, but I don't want to get sick. Lou says I must click next to it. I'm just going to gently swat it away from the car. Where's it gone now? I'm one of those people that, and I'm not joking, everyone goes, oh, just be still, it's not going to sting you. They sit on me and then they sting me quietly. So I do not hang around wasps and bees. When I was in Australia, the hornets were just following me everywhere. It was really terrible. I was petrified. I don't like to get stung by things. Oh, there's so many juvenile battaliers flying overhead. Everything's coming alive now. The bush is really, really, really waking up as the sun starts to warm up the ground. I'm also starting to get a little bit warm now. I'm going to have to take some layers off in a minute. I was going to do a slide, and then I thought Craig is going to probably fall off the car. Are you ready, Craig? For the next corner. Okay. Right, what I'm going to do very quickly is just get some speed here. Let's have a little bit of fun. No one's around. Whee! Woo, drifting! I do copy you, Faith. Sorry, I just wanted to do a little bit of a slide around the corner there. Right, we're going to do a bit of mudding and have a lot of fun. Brent, however, has got a hyena.
Here we go, we've got a very fat hyena who's thinking about heading into a puddle to wallow for the rest of the day. Are you going to go lie down in the water? Now, I was so surprised we hadn't seen more as I said, another hyena has appeared. Slightly younger one, probably just over a year old or so, maybe just under a year old. Now, as I said, this area, you often find lots of hyena dotted across the short grasses, just having a snooze. We could get a nice little greeting here. Oh, don't sneak up on me. Don't sneak up on me. Gave me a fright. Looks like we're heading back to the puddle. Oh, yeah, we're going to lie down in the water. Get that big hot belly, some cool... Oh, yes. Oh, it's a spa day. Oh, it's a bit cold. Oh, there we go. Oh, yes. That's the spot. Now, is the little one also going to follow suit? And have a drink first. Now this is a different kind of hyenas to the ones we see in camp and below Angama. This clan lives around Governors towards Chitwa airstrip. Their den is somewhere around here, but in a no off-roading zone, so we haven't been able to find the den just yet. But the amount of hyenas we always see in this area, it can't be too far. Not so ready for a swim. Oh, maybe. It's going to choose the second sauna, or the second mud bath, rather than the one that is already being occupied. Nikki says, so many fat and happy carnivores today. Indeed. It seems like the storm was a good hunting night for the hyenas and the lions. Are you going to lie down? No? Oh, yeah. Behind the hyenas, we've been watching some very, very cute little baby warthogs scuttle about. Hey, little guys. And you can see it's starting to warm up a lot. There's a heat haze over the zebra in the background. There's Mom. Wait for me, Mom. Now, of course, lots of different animals really love baby warthog, especially the cats, lion, leopard, cheetah. There's another mom, another 3 piglets. The hyenas' weekend seems to have started early because we got one lying in the sauna and the other, oh no, left head, has found a perfect pillow. And put its head down on the termite mound and just having a quick squiz around. And doof, there we go. That looks actually quite comfy. If you like lying in the mud, that is. Which hyena, of course, love doing. Oh yeah, well, we've got a bit more slip sliding to do on our way back to our main road. Bye, hyenas. Well, while we slip slide and pass about 5,000 animals with heartbeats, it seems like Byron is having a little bit more of a challenge of finding a heartbeat in Djuma.
It's still fairly quiet this morning here. I mean, they had those elephants earlier, but I do think this weather has got something to do with it. Windy conditions. But that's the way it goes sometimes. I mean, we were lucky a few days ago where those lions, those male lions up in a tree, getting that kill that male leopard hoisted. There's the monkey all spotted. Now I wonder if this was one of the monkeys' alarm calling this morning. I don't think so. It's amazing. There are actually a few around here, and as we stopped, we only just saw them now. All spotted view. Saw the monkey jump into the marula. Keeping a watchful eye out. There's probably a lot of monkeys around. We just can't see them. They're very secretive at times. They've got an amazing ability to hide very well from us. The vervet monkey, V-E-R-V-E-T. Some people get confused and call it a velvet monkey. It's not velvet, it is vervet. You can see those branches swaying in the wind. The monkey's holding on quite tightly there. Now, I wonder if they can see anything from up there. I don't think so. Now, we heard them alarm calling this morning. Those of you who only joined us recently, but it turned out there was a stuffed lion in camp, and that's what the monkeys were alarm calling at. We thought we heard them calling in the camp. We drove around having a look, thought maybe it was a leopard, it was a stuffed lion that a group brought with them, I think, as their mascot, a group of guests. It was quite entertaining. And Sean, you were saying it's okay if it's a bit quiet. You just enjoy driving around with us. So thanks, Sean. It's great to hear. The thing is, you never know. Things can happen at any moment. We've always said that in the bush, and it's nice to have these quieter mornings and search for animals. Makes you appreciate those really great sightings a lot more. I think I always tell my guests that when we do have quieter mornings, then when you see leopards in a tree or lions chasing something, there's some impala just to our left. That male looks really old. That one beautiful antelope. They looked like quite an old male that we saw moving off. Looked a little thin. Possibly, maybe because also there's not a lot of food around at the moment. So some of the animals have lost a bit of condition. But I think with all that rain that we had, and you can actually see, if we just look out over the clearings, just have a look, you can see a bit of that green grass coming through already. I wonder if you can notice it there. Look at that. You can see that green coloration. It's just because of the little bit of rain we've had already. So the bush is starting to transform. It's a wonderful time of year. Bar all the pollen that is causing my allergies at the moment. I feel like my eyes are going to explode. It's terrible. I don't know why. I've never had it this bad before. Kemex, sorry, let me just get that question again from Lou. Lou, sorry, just repeat that, please. Okay, Chemex. I think your question, I think you're asking what career or what qualifications do you need to make this a career, guiding? Well, I suppose the main thing is, just have a look, some interesting birds. Oh, they're going to fly off now. Obviously, Senegal lapwings. Did you get them there? There they are. The Senegal lapwings. Well done, Vim. Beautiful little lapwings. A different lapwing that we get out here. There you go. Now, Chemex, getting back to your question about making this a career and what qualifications you need. Well, you don't really need to go to university or anything to become a guide, which is quite helpful. So, and it makes it a bit easier. But there is a company known as the Field Guide Association that's in South Africa, and I'll just speak about South Africa because it is different in every country. But the Field Guide Association, you register with them and become a member. You then get learning material. You can do most of it through self-study. A lot of people choose and opt for a course. They'll do 6 months to a year where they get practical experience as well as all the theory. You then write the exam. So you write the theory exam. It's level 1 is basic. You cover everything, but you do need to learn and study quite a bit. And then once you've done that, you then have to be practically evaluated. So somebody will go on a game drive with you, and you then have to basically interpret the bush to them. Once you've got that qualification, you'll be able to guide legally in South Africa. Some people do go to university or to a technicon, and they will study and do nature conservation perhaps. But you don't necessarily need that if you go just into guiding. Sometimes that might be for land or habitat management in other areas if people branch out into that. So it all depends. Some people I know have done business degrees and then decided it's not for them and gone and moved into this line of work. I did it. I went and studied a BCom, business commerce degree, and then decided it wasn't for me and moved into the bush. So it can vary. A few of my friends are accountants and they went into guiding. But you don't need any of those qualifications if you just want to be a guide. But you do need to register, write the exams, and get the qualifications. That is important. So I hope that answers your question. KC Star, you asked, are there night guides or just morning and afternoon guides? Is that what you mean? Or you referring to the drives probably? So KC Star, we generally go out on our safaris in the mornings, in the early mornings and late afternoons, and that's because that's generally when most of the animals are more active, especially animals like predators and that. Excuse me. We do go out from time to time on our night drives, and we use the spotlights a little bit, but generally to find animals still moving around, the best time is early mornings and late afternoons. That's when you get the best activity. And then also we do it based on what we do with guests normally. And even if we stay out with guests at night, we don't usually stay out that long, so it all varies. But the game drive is the best time for spotting and finding animals, mornings and afternoons. That's why we do these game drives over the times that we do. You can see some quillias flying around every now and then. Those beautiful little red-billed quillias. Oh, there goes a little steenbok. Oh, will it stop so fast, running across the clearing? Look at that. Well done, VM. Gee. Look at that steenbok go. One of the fastest little antelope we have out here. Very quick and agile. Almost impossible to follow it. VM, well done. It was really, really quick. You see how quickly it moved. Mrs. Zero, getting back to your question. You asked what made me become a guide or go into this profession. I don't know. You always, people often will say, oh, I love animals, I want to work in the bush. But it's not just about that. Yes, you've got to enjoy the animals and enjoy seeing them and spending time with them. But the thing with being a guide is you need to enjoy people too. You need to get along with people. Can you see a hoopoe? Oh, there it is, well spotted, VM. I just moved up to the right a little bit to the right. Let's just see. There it is, the African hoopoe. We were discussing it this morning with that call that sounds similar to that of the African cuckoo. This is the hoopoe. Quite confusing, these little names. That's nice. Alright, so as I was saying, Mr. Zero, I enjoy working with people. The animals and interpreting the bush to people. It's always wonderful having foreigners come out and enjoying Africa with us. So that's why I got into it, but always had a love for going out, being out in nature and spending time out here. So a bit of a combination of all of those, I think, is why I went into it. Anyway, Let's carry on and see if we can find something else interesting on these clearings. And while I do that, let's go across to Brent, who's got an antelope that I've never seen before, but it's now a baby one. Let's go and have a look at what it is.
Look at this. It is a tiny, tiny baby topi. And it's just laid down. And you can see, he's getting himself a clean, or herself, too small to tell. And the rest of the herd are around. But look at those ears. They're almost like helicopter ears. I mean, they're so massive for this tiny little thing. And you can see the coloration, how well it will work if that folds itself up and gets really, really flat to the ground. And it's very difficult for anything to see it. But those ears are massive for such a tiny creature. I think they are one of the cutest, strangest looking babies we get in the Mara. Sweetness. Now, there was something else. Where's it gone now? Oh, it has flown away. There was a tawny eagle close by. Now, a tawny eagle could be a potential threat to a baby topi, and martial eagles most definitely. And the topis that live closer to the escarpment, crowned eagles, will also be a very, very real threat for baby topis. There we go, heads up. Oh, hello. As I say, it's getting quite warm quite quickly at the moment. And a lot of the ruminants will be resting up for the heat of the day, chewing the cud. No need to march off for water at the moment. There's so much water around in the little puddles and whatnot. But let's leave the little topis and keep moving onward towards the escarpment.
It probably is about the same size, Brent. A little male steenbok. I'm not sure if it was a male or female that we saw run off earlier, but this is a little male, far more relaxed. And as I was saying, I've never seen a topi before. I know they look similar to that of a Sabi. Am I right, Firm? Have you seen Sabi? They do look similar, huh? Yeah, they look similar, but I've never seen topi. We don't get them down here. And the hartebeest, yeah. Different antelope up there in the Mara. It's always nice when you see different antelope species around Africa. It is still very windy, especially out here on the clearings. But you see, I was saying with these steenbok, why we're seeing quite a few of them up here at the moment, is because of all these green shoots, little grass shoots that are coming out. You can see it's very green, so that's what they're feeding on. They're enjoying it at the moment, all because of that bit of rain. Can't wait for the bush to turn lush and green. Lynn, you were commenting on the horns, saying cute little horns. Oh, they don't get very big horns. Small little horns. But beautiful, dainty little antelope. I do enjoy seeing the steenbok. We did have a great morning despite the wind. We had some excitement. We had those 4 hyena going through, walking past us and drinking. We had elephants around. We saw giraffe, and our team in the Mara eventually got going despite the mud and the rain. But we'll see what we can find for you this afternoon on our sunset safari. I think Tristan will be here in Djuma, and I'm sure the team in the Mara will be out again. So we'll see you all again this afternoon. Have a wonderful day. From myself, Byron, VM, Louise, thank you everybody. We'll see you all soon. Goodbye.